So you're at prospect camp. What's it like, though, having a bunch of the guys on your team here right away off the start?
Yeah, it was great. It goes by fast. We're already here, but it was really good to see. The guys we had last year. Summers are big for especially the younger players to put on size and strength. And I know it was just one practice, but it looks like everybody had a really good summer. All the guys that our staff was able to coach last year, I thought would look really good today. Kind of, there's difference in levels of the guys' strength, and they put in the work in the summer, and I think everybody's just really excited to be back.
With this group here, what do you want them to take from this week/weekend?
Yeah, I think it's, you want to establish, it's the first, I guess you would say, start to, our organization. So our players get their first, who do we want to be as a team and how we want to put, like I told the guys, if someone's watching from the stands, like who are we going to be as a team and the standard that we want to play with. And I think we want to play smart, we want to play hard, we want to play fast. So it's not really this tournament. It is, being here last year is pretty chaotic. There's a lot of energy. I'm not too concerned about the structure piece of it, but just making sure that how we want to play, being relentless on the puck. We talk a lot about puck pressure and just seeing the habits instilled in the guys that you need going into the season. And I thought, just going back to last year, I thought the guys did a really good job of that and led to success during the season.
Leo, how is Victor Neuchov looking after his season ended early?
Yeah, he looked great. I think he put on close to 10 pounds. Tough injury to come back from, but he had a really good day today. It looked like he put in the work in the summer. You guys watched it. He's a really talented player. He's got a lot of gifts that you can't teach. So really excited that he's back healthy. I think he's getting really close, so excited that he's back in the mix.
Isaac's a veteran of the Prospects Challenge. I think this is his fourth. What happened to him last year? That he got some consistent recalls there at the end. It seemed like he took some steps, becoming a better scorer.
Yeah, I think it's with young players in the league, it's finding consistency. I think if you still ask Rosie and our staff, I think there's still more to give. I think it's a great opportunity for Rosie. Similar, not exact same situation, but as a player coming in with their fourth year, you want to see him kind of blow the doors off of this tournament, similar to what Yuri did last year and kind of set him up for, ended up being on the Sabres for most of the season. So he put on some weight. He looks like, I don't want to say a boy anymore, but he looks, his strength, his upper body, I think he gained close to 10 pounds. So had a really big summer. So it's really important for him to come out and you never want to tell a player to dominate the tournament, but he should have the puck a lot. He should be a guy that drives in the short tournament. So excited to see the hard work that he put in this summer pay off to start the camp.
You've gone 2 years with Novikov, and last year we got the debut with Komarov, and they're still prospects, but they're pros now.
Yeah.
So what's the next step for the two of them?
Yeah, I think with both, especially I'll start with Novi. Novi had a big summer, like huge summer last summer. Really, he had, I wasn't with the previous staff, but hard to play back-to-backs at 3 and 4. The schedule that we play in the AHL is, I don't want to say it's like the NHL, but it's tough. You got to grind out. I think we had, 16 games in 35 days to prepare his body. I think with both those guys being the size and strength that they are, is to be really good defenders. I think everybody wants defenders at the next level to Novi did a really good job gapping more against speed. I think he struggled with that in the past, killing more plays in the D zone, what you're going to want to see out of a defenseman with that size, being good in front of the net, boxing out. And I thought he took huge strides from the year before, just watching on video. Him and Metz did a great job for us. And Comey, I thought, made huge strides towards the end of the year. you know, coming from the Quebec Major Junior League, that's a huge jump to the American Hockey League. And I thought at the end of the year, especially in playoffs, it was unfortunate, you know, the fight that happened, but he came back against the Laval series, and he has a really competitive spirit to him. Like I use the term gamer. Like he's physical. He's everything that you want in a 6'4" defenseman. He has skill, but he also has the ability to defend. And I think for him, making the step into this year is using his stick more, being more stick detailed in the corner to kill plays, not going into the glass with two hands on your stick. The things that kind of separate guys to get to the next level, being really detailed away from the puck is going to be really important for him. I know he had a big summer. He looks great, so really excited to see him at the camp as well.
Not too many 18-year-olds playing the American Hockey League. Hellenius did that.
Yeah.
What did you see from start to finish with him, playing with you the whole year and being an 18-year-old kid playing in that league?
Yeah, it was a huge adjustment for him. Just, I think the speed of the game too. I think when you're playing European hockey, it's a bigger ice. You guys know, you go to Syracuse 12 times. There's nowhere to hide out there. You go to Utica. The division that we play in is you're going through the ringer on. It's really physical. Even little things like getting his shot off at the start of the year, he was taking too much time. With any 18-year-old player, there's a lot of ups and downs, but I think if you look at the growth towards the end of the year, moved him to the wing, kind of free him up a bit. It's hard to, with face-offs, I think he was low percentage, but by the end of the year, he was arguably our best player in that last series against Laval. Like, he was great. He's got a swagger to him, very confident in a good way, and he took huge strides. I mean, to have, close to 40 points as an 18-year-old was really impressive, and I think he matured a lot, just as far as becoming a pro, taking care of himself at the rink, away from the rink, and he looks great. Like, put in the time, he looks quicker. I think that was one of the things that he wanted to work on, just your less time in space, coming from Europe, and I think getting quicker, being first to the puck to give him a little bit more time and space to create, because he's a really smart player. He's big lower half, so he's able to protect the pucks, but now getting the pucks quicker and his ability to hang on the pucks more, I think, is really going to help him. So excited to see him at this camp as well.
There are 8 guys who were drafted in June, including Reddy Murtka and David Betkowski in their first, legit NHL preparation, for rookie camp and then for the tournament. What is your coaching and preparation advice for them as they go into this?
Yeah, it's a unique experience now with the new rules that the guys from the USHL and major juniors could participate in this event. So we're really excited to see them. I think the biggest thing is not over-coaching them at this event and kind of micromanaging their game and the systems. They just got to go out there and play and be free. And they were drafted for a reason, and just to play their game, whatever. I know about both players, but just play their game, go out there, have fun, and then the rest will take care of itself. Because I think sometimes if you put too much, especially as a young player, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to be out there for goals against. It happens, and it's going to be a huge jump for both kids. Like, even myself, being at this tournament last year, it's like it's high tempo, it's intense. Everybody wants to make a big first impression. So just have the kids go out there and play free.
What allowed Riley Fiddler-Schultz to take those steps next year to the point that he got a 2-way contract, I guess?
Yeah, amazing story. I think when you talk about inner drive and believing in yourself, and just on American League contract last year, he probably hated me for a while. He healthy scratched him 14 times in a row, and a lot of hard conversations. But talk about a kid that does it right every day, how he works in the gym, worked hard in practice, was a great teammate, never pouted, because it's really easy. It's a lot easier said than done to not be a great teammate. And why is this guy playing? There was never any of that. He just put his head down and work, and when the opportunity came, he took advantage of it, and then by the end of the year, he was one of those guys that was an everydayer. Couldn't take him out of the lineup, and awesome for him to earn an NHL contract. I think it was warranted, and you could even see today the confidence that he has now. You know, he believes in himself. Loved coaching him, and really proud of him. And but I would say those things: the inner drive and belief in himself that he could do it, because there was probably a lot of doubts at the start of the year. You know, played in the East Coast Hockey League the year before and had a great season for us. Played great in playoffs. Kind of utility guy that we could use anywhere he was up. Guys get called up, he could play on the top two lines, power play, penalty kill. Kind of a Swiss Army knife, and invaluable as a coach to have guys like that on your team.
How much does it help to have somebody like that set the example? Because not everybody here is going to be
Yeah,
bound
yeah,
for
it
Rochester.
really
Some guys
is,
are gonna play
because
in the East.
it's you know, everybody, you know, you get drafted in the first round, second round, third round, fourth round, and he never was drafted in the NHL. But if you have an inner drive and you work, and it's a great example for the other guys, even our draft picks, to see a player like that just work every day and not pout and not worry about points, and it wasn't about him, it was all about the team and taking advantage of your opportunity, whether you get called up your first game in the AHL, you're in and out of the lineup. Just an example of someone who may not be a guy that everybody knows about, but a guy that you see him every day and you have a lot of respect for him. Like, I would say he's probably one of the most well-respected guys in the room for how he handled that situation for a month and a half. And even, you know, now looking back on it in the summer, you reflect how much it meant to our team. Like, if he has a poor attitude, he's miserable coming to the rink, what that does for the group every day. And he was a glue guy, and guys respected him for how he went about it. And, you know, when he got the opportunity, he just took advantage of it. And, you know, everybody loves him as a teammate, and I couldn't be more proud.
You mentioned, you know, wanting to see Roseanne kind of take over this weekend. I'm curious how much for him that's just like a mentality and a confidence thing.
Yeah, it is. I think with Rosie, it is a mentality and a belief in himself. And, you know, he's really hard on himself sometimes, and it's because he cares so much. But I think he's got to go out there and take it. You know, it's not going to be given to him, and I think that's the biggest thing for Rosie is to believe in himself. He's a great player. He can skate. He can make plays everywhere on the ice, but it's got to be consistent, and it's got to be all the time, and he's got to go out there and take it. So I think that's the biggest thing for Rosie to start before we get to camp, to go out there when we play those games, to be a dominant player, to believe in himself and have confidence in his ability.